very concerned about them.
It concerns me a little bit.
Actually, no.
It concerns me very much.
I do definitely think that is of concern and should be looked further into.
The only concerns I have is if the documents is going to jeopardize the United States citizens and our health and well-being. That's when it becomes a problem.
I'm concerned that he's hiding something about his financial dealings with Ukraine and China and his son's hunters as well.
Yeah, the only concern I have is I hope they straighten that out, but I believe it's been planted. And I don't think he'd have been that naive to have that in his office.
Maybe there's a greater good to it. Maybe he needs to have an explanation for it. But somebody will get to the bottom of it eventually, just like with Donald Trump.
Because of the Trump situation, I think it's been escalated, blown out of proportion. I am a Democrat, and I voted for Biden. But I don't like the way this is going down.
My concern is when they do something about ex-President Trump's, then they'll do something about his.
All right, guys, so we got to check in on the cackling hens on The View to see how they're coping with the fact that their Lord and Savior, Joe Biden, got caught with a third set of classified documents over the weekend, two sets of which were found in his house, one next to his Corvette and another one in some other room or something like that, right? Now, last time we talked about The View and their take on this Biden situation, you had Joy Behar, who was having a full-blown meltdown over the fact that this is happening, okay? Her Lord and Savior actually committed a crime, and or they went full conspiracy theory mode in regards to how they were handling this situation. And it wasn't just them, it was also another Democrat as well, too. They went full Alex Jones tinfoil hat in regards to explaining why Joe Biden got caught with these classified documents. Take a look.
My response to it all is that alleged classified documents showing up allegedly in the possession of Joseph Biden, you know, I mean, there's so much that needs to be investigated, and that's what I call for, is for everything to be investigated. But I'm suspicious of the timing of it. I'm also aware of the fact that things can be planted on people. Places and things can be planted, or things can be planted in places and then discovered conveniently. That may be what has occurred here. I'm not ruling that out, but I'm open in terms of the investigation. Needs to be investigated.
You know what I think? I've never seen a luckier person than Donald Trump. Just as we're this close to getting him, but somehow these documents appear.
But here's the thing: Biden is wrong to have done this. He was in office for 40 years.
Let's find out what this is first. Now, again, I know it's messy.
Does it feel like Oppo research to you? Does it feel like the Republicans are behind it?
It's not.
It did originally, but I'm sorry, but not now, because one of the things he's saying is that, you know, some of the locations where the docs may have been shipped in the transition may have gotten taken and put, but still.
He's a Democrat, so therefore we got to give him the benefit of the doubt, even though we did not do that for Trump. So again, let's see how the cackling hens are reacting to the fact that Joe Biden got caught again with a third set. And let's see if they've changed their mind here.
People, or does Biden need to do more? I mean, the Naftali, do you know who Mr. Naftali was? He's the man who worked with the Nixon archives. Mm-hmm. And he said, since there's no log of every presidential document, the archives couldn't have known what was missing unless it was something extraordinarily well known, which was the case with you-know-who. He had some stuff where they were like, where's the thing? You remember the thing that had the hole and then we did the thing? That's not in here. And so they said months in advance, hey, can we have that back? Because we know you got it. Mm-hmm. And he said, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. And they kept chasing it until they had to send him a subpoena. Unlike this, where Biden goes, I don't know where those came from. They said, well, we need them. They said, here, take them. And let me know what they are, because they're in my closet.
Yeah, so, but you know, it's funny how every single time they had this conversation, they can't just have the standalone conversation without bringing up Trump, right? I mean, it's either a crime or it's not a crime, right? It's either a crime or it's not a crime. If it's a crime, like they said it was with Trump, to take the documents, even though he's president, and I will argue that as president, he has declassification authority. If you're saying that it's a crime with Trump, then it's a crime with Biden. Him being willing to give the documents back to the National Archives is irrelevant to the fact that he committed the crime if you're saying that it's a crime. Again, it just is really interesting how they can't talk about this without talking about Trump. Just hold Biden to the standard that you held Trump without necessarily having to try to differentiate the difference between Trump and Biden, because under Trump, you did not give him the benefit of the doubt to say, oh, well, you know, maybe as president, he could have declassified this. No, you just automatically say it was a crime because he took it. Period. It was a crime because he took them. But again, with Biden, they're trying to, you know, do backflips to try to differentiate it between Trump and to try to justify what Biden did. When at the end of the day, again, if it's a crime, it's a crime. Just be consistent about it.
I think that Biden should speak more.
Well, you know, he has said 2 or 3 times, I'm telling you, I'm not sure what these are, but everybody's looking into the work is being done, and the false equality that's being put out is that he's done something wrong. Well, I said, don't we have to know what it is?
Yeah, but there also has been, I mean, I love Joe Biden, and I want to clear this because I know there's a difference between what he did and what Trump did. A lot of people don't and will not ever know it because of the way it's covered.
And people who don't want to know are not going to, you know what I mean? People who want to believe that that they did the same thing and it's equal, that's the same. But
again, it's either a crime or it's not a crime. Again, whether or not Joe Biden is cooperating is irrelevant. I would argue that he's not cooperating because they keep finding new documents, right? I'm sure he knows that he has classified documents in his house. Or maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Maybe Joe Biden's so old that he don't know. But it's not the type of thing where you just, oh, well, I just forgot. No, you didn't forget, right? These are highly sensitive documents, and he took them. Again, it's just so funny how these people go through mental gymnastics to try to defend Biden for something that, again, they eviscerated Trump for, just because they don't want to criticize their Lord and Savior too much. It's absolutely insane.
Would have been helpful for Joe Biden when it first came out to say, you know, and we have tape of Joe Biden saying that Trump did something stupid and shouldn't have done it and it was bad. Well, he should have said, you look, I know I look hypocritical in that tape. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I didn't know about this, and now that I know it, I will do what I can to uncover this. I mean, he should be speaking to the American people, or else just act like a Republican and say it's a witch hunt. Well, and let's fire Merrick Garland.
We know he won't do that, and he did call Trump careless with these documents, and I think it would go a long way for him to also say, and I was careless, and so we need to not only review these documents, we need to review the process. That are
that too,
I think that's what's most important, right?
Well, see, again, the only reason you're saying that is because Biden got caught up in it. See, now, again, they wouldn't give Trump the benefit of the doubt and say, hey, you know what? This is a nothing burger. You know, he took the documents. This is something that probably happens quite a bit in government, right? Where people just, you know, casually kind of take these documents sometimes. Let's make sure we review the process. Let's just fix the process and make sure this doesn't happen. You know, Trump gets a mulligan. Nope. Biden, though, that's the take. It's, well, you know, he should get a mulligan, right? He should get a mulligan. Let's just focus on reviewing the process, which I actually do believe that the fact that Biden and Trump did this, I think both of them should get a mulligan, to be quite honest with you. I don't think Biden should actually go to jail over it, just like I don't think Trump should go to jail over it. I think it's one of those things where it's a good opportunity to review the documents and the processes in regards to storing classified information and protecting it. But I will say, though, in further investigation of what Biden was doing with those documents, though, I will say, again, if he was selling it, if he was doing something with the documents that, you know, was him overtly, you know, trying to expose it to people who shouldn't be seeing it or getting access to the information, then, yeah, he should go to jail for that. But if it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, well, he forgot him in his garage or something, you know, I just feel like I don't think he should actually do any jail time, just like I don't think Trump should do any jail time. I just think it's an opportunity for us to look at this and say, all right, there needs to be an actual, like, formalized process for declassifying documents, one. And then two, they need to tighten up whatever process they uses when people are checking out these documents to look, and then to make sure they're not just taking them home and putting them in, areas or situations where they can be exposed. It's really that simple. But again, the reason why this is a big deal is because the media made such a big deal out of what Trump did. Now, all of a sudden, these Biden cheerleaders want to just not make a big deal out of it and try to find ways to say, well, it's different, when it's really not that different. It's really not. At the end of the day, I'm consistent on this. I don't think either one of them should go to jail for it. I just think it is a chance to improve the process. That's all it really is.
Shouldn't he wait to find out if he was careless?
Your point, Whoopi, we won't hear anything else now because the special counsel has been appointed and put in place. And during the course of an investigation, no one talks. That's just how it works. Yeah. But he has probably also been advised not to talk. So we will not hear anything from Biden until we really do know, in my view, unless you disagree, because you've worked at the White House. I don't think we'll hear anything.
You're not going to hear anything because Democrats never want to take responsibility for their actions when they mess up, right? This is why Karine Jean-Pierre doesn't want to answer any questions, and that's why it's just kind of ridiculous for The View to come out here and say, well, Biden should just apologize and just, blah, blah, blah. They're never going to do it because you people in the media have never held them to a standard where they feel like they need to apologize for anything. Democrats never apologize when they get caught. Ever. Ever. Because they always get away with their wrongdoings, right? So no, Biden's not going to apologize. He's not going to talk about it. He's not going to, actually be upfront with American people about it because he's never had to be, right? The mainstream liberal media, they don't hold him to that standard. So why should he do it now?
Until the special counsel comes back and lets us know, is it 10 documents, 20 documents? My problem has been the dripping out of information. Yeah. At first, it was 10 documents in one place. And then there were just a few more in another place. Now there are 4 different occasions where documents were found.
Yeah, but how many documents they find at Mar-a-Lago?
Well, hundreds.
Okay. But they don't have to be the same.
Again, a crime is a crime. If he took just one document, it's still a crime. You know what I'm saying? Again, Joy Behar, she's so in denial about this. She's so hurt by the fact that she came out here and made a big stink about Trump, and now her Lord and Savior got caught basically doing the same thing. It's just hilarious.
Yeah, that's the thing is, I don't want to downplay it because it is very serious. And I do think that President Biden needs to just come out and set expectations. Like, there could be more documents. I'm committed to transparency. When we're able to share more, we can, and just be above board in it. But here's the thing that's really struck me with this is, like, when I worked at the Department of Defense, I regularly had access to highly classified information. If I took something from my office, which was a SCIF, so it was, locked, no cell phones can be in there. Yeah. I would transport it in a lead bag with a lock on it to go to the Secretary of Defense's office 1 floor up, because state secrets are that serious. Yes. And I think that's what sometimes get lost. And you had to return them.
And there's a log. That's what I don't understand, because when I was at the U.S. Attorney's Office and there were grand jury transcripts, if you lost a grand jury transcript or brought it at home, God forbid, and it fell into the wrong hands, a witness could die.
Yes.
Right? And so we would do the same thing. There was a locked bag. You would take the transcript to your office. You would log it out, and then you would bring it back and log it back in. What are the processes that are taking place at the White House? Is it a document free-for-all?
Well, I mean, that's the President of the United States, right? I mean, you're not the president. What's-her-face was not the president. I think it's a little bit different when you talk about the president or the vice president being able to take classified documents with them to their homes or whatever, because even when they're at their homes, like, for example, Trump goes to Mar-a-Lago, he's still working, right? He's still working as president of the United States, even when he's not in the White House. So it would make sense that they would be able to take the documents home with them. And that, maybe, just maybe, again, they're not really keeping up with the president and what he's doing with the documents. And that seems to be the weakness in the system, is that when the president or the vice president or somebody that's really high up there in administration and federal government gets access to these documents, they're not as stringent about, what they do with those documents as they are other officials that come in and check out the documents. That, to me, seems to be kind of what the case is here. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.